So, dear respected Thai, dear Sangha, dear friends, today is the 14th of June in the year 2024, and we are in the Wake Up Retreat, the first Wake Up Retreat in a Healing Spring Monastery. And this is our first big retreat also. After a while, we are kind of sleeping, and now we wake up with the wake up with a very joyful, powerful group of young people coming. And I believe that after yesterday we have been learning so much things and has been nourished by the collective practice, personal practice, and friendship, sharing, and many other things. So this morning we have a chance to sit together for a while to explore more things than what we have learned yesterday. Yesterday we have learned about body and feeling. So today we want to explore more part of ourself. So our self is not only body, it's not only our emotion, we are more than that. So in the Buddhist text, the way we see human being is with the four realms, four categories. So the first category is the body, and the second is the feeling, and the third is the mind. And the fourth one is the object of the mind. And these two things is a little bit tricky because they both are the same. And one observe from the left and the other one observe from the right. So the word anger and the word angry, they are both the same thing, but they are written differently. Is that correct? And somehow they also function differently. And one is to explain, and the other one is to tell us what we have. So I would say, I have anger, and I'm angry. So the anger here is the mental formation, and the angry here is the object of the mind. It's very difficult. Maybe both ways are the same. But anyway, we kind of like get it, yeah? There's one thing that you can see in different way and different function, but they are both the same thing. So if in this talk you get confused, please allow that to happen. Don't try to make it clear, because that is not the point. The point is to just open your heart and just allow the rain of the teachings fall into your store consciousness and allow it to grow by itself. It's like when you see a tiny seed of flower, it's very difficult to know what flower it is until you plant it in the ground and allow it to grow, and one day you see what flower it is. Yeah. So the understanding of the teaching is the same. Yeah. I think the best way to start this morning is to start from mindfulness. Yeah, because it's written on the board 5MT, 5 mindfulness training. So I think we can explore the word mindfulness first so that we can have a little bit more clarity on what is mindfulness, so it's easy for us to go a little bit deeper. Mindfulness now has been presented in many places and many forms. And here in Plum Village tradition, the definition of mindfulness here is an energy that can help us to know what is happening in the present moment, inside of us and around us. So I repeat again, it's an energy that can help us to know what is happening in the present moment, inside of us and around us. It's very tricky, that sentence, because our eyes is open and we are not sleeping. How do we don't know what is happening? And why we need to know what is happening? Yeah. It is because we have a mind. So because today we talk about mind, so it's nice to explore that. Because in our mind, we have a memory, and sometimes we call it habit energy, and sometimes we call it database in our mind, that most of the time function by itself. It's autopilot. I'll give you an example, brushing teeth. When you brush your teeth, maybe you kind of know, you put your toothpaste on your toothbrush and then you put it in your mouth and then you don't know anymore. And then let the whole process done by itself. So if you are not really sure, maybe after lunch or this evening, please pay attention. Yeah? Do you really brush your teeth or your hand brush your teeth? Together, working together with your tongue, with the teeth, with your hand, they work together without you knowing it, so that you can think about tomorrow, you can think about your project, you can worry about what happened in the world, so you can do another thing rather than brushing your teeth. So that is a part like that. And even this is the body physical level. And sometimes we want to go to the bathroom from the meditation hall. As soon as we stand up and do the first step, and we forget already what we are doing. And the next things you know, you already arrive in the toilet. And then when you arrive in the toilet, your mind is already, what next? After this, I will have to go there. Yes. So we have that kind of mind, we call it autopilot mind, that continuously thinking and continuously planning and continuously make sure that you will be safe and you'll be okay and you will feel good. So there is a kind of mind, it's continuously like that. And that part of the mind will take control and take decision for everything. And that is why yesterday Sister Sinim let us know that there is free will. Yeah. There is a way that we can take decision. But this is very tricky, because this mind is not only belong to us, it also belong to our ancestor, our father, our mother, our grandparents, etc. Not only belong to the human, but also belong to the non-human, this kind of mind. And sometimes we call it defense mechanism. Something that makes sure that we are safe and we can continue to survive. And if something fall down suddenly, you can, protect yourself and run away directly. But this thing somehow it functioning every single moment. And the other way of looking at it is also this mind is functioning as energy saving. It like to save the energy. So when you brush your teeth, you don't need to learn again every day. Yeah, so it memorizes it so that it can do it by itself. So you don't have to spend too much energy. So that one part, something that can function by itself. Like now, I'm speaking in English. And if I have to learn and speak at the same time, maybe it takes too much energy. So I have to allow this to be autopilot speaking, so that I don't have to translate from one language to the other language in my mind. Yeah. So we have that privilege to save energy. But sometimes, because this mind is so quick and so automatic, and somehow this is also one part that decide our action, decide the way we think, decide the way we speak, and decide the way we do things. It can be very dangerous when it is for defending ourselves. And therefore the violence is possible because of that. Because there's another part of the mind that can understand, that can love, that can embrace. It does not get activated because overridden by this autopilot so quick here. So let's say when you read a news, you even don't have time to decide what you need to feel. That feeling already come out. Yeah, you already feel worry, you already feel angry, you feel upset before you decide what you want to feel. Yeah, because if you have freedom, you should be able to read and, okay, I would like to decide to get angry. But unfortunately, it is not like this. Yeah, it is automatically arises. Yeah. So this is how little bit our mind is working. So we have a daily activity that help us to recognize this mind. So what we want to do is to recognize this autopilot in every moment. And in order to see it, we need to make some contrast. We need to make some interruption in order to be able to transform that habit, especially the habit that we don't want anymore. Like for example, we used to walk very fast because we used to have to chase something, but after a while it become a default system in our walking, then we have to walk fast always. And even we are not in a hurry, we still have to be in a hurry because it recorded as a habit, as memory. So in order to transform that walking, we need to make a contrast, which is walk slowly. Yeah. That's why when you come to the monastery, somehow all your physical movement need to be adjusted a little bit. Like we ask you to wear clothes that is closed, for example. Maybe some of you does not feel comfortable with that. That they have where the pants has to be closed, the knees, for example. Maybe not facing your feet to the altar, for example, and walk slowly in the hamlet, eat in silence. These are all the things that we are not used to do. Yeah. And thanks to this, it makes us get interrupted. If you see the monastic enter the meditation hall, we will not just get in. We will stop, join our palm, bow to the hall, and then we come in. And that is to interrupt our action, to interrupt our habit to just walk through unconsciously to the hall and run into the cushion to sit down, for example. So all our daily practice that you see so many rules about it is to help us to make contrast for our habit so that we can recognize it, we can practice it, and we can transform it. Yeah. And this is something that we can do physically and we can do mentally too. Yeah. And this morning I would like to share with you how to do it mentally. So physically it's obvious, yeah? Like you walk slowly, physically it's obvious you can see. But the mind is very different. So in the mindful breathing, we have 4 exercises for the mind. Right. don't know if everyone can see, but so the first exercise is to learn how to be aware with your mindful breathing. So when we breathe in and out, suddenly we stop everything and the mindfulness will arise. Yeah. And when mindfulness arises, it starts to know what is your mind. So either your mind is peaceful, you know it is peaceful. I think when you are here, you recognize it many times that, why I feel so peaceful? Yeah. Why the place so peaceful? So peace is the mind. We call it mental formation. So the mind, the other word is also mental formation. Yeah. So the first time we need to be aware, to learn how to be aware. In the guided meditation, there is one exercise, very nice. You are trained how to breathe with your mental formation. So experiencing anger, I breathe in. Smile to my anger, I breathe out. We all experience anger before, right? So you remember, how does it feel, that anger? And you breathe with that anger. Experiencing joy, I breathe in. Smile to the joy, I breathe out. So that is an exercise specifically to learn, to train ourselves to be aware what we are experiencing. So this is something that we can do also during today. I feel lonely. I feel disconnected. You breathe in and out with that mental formation. Don't react. So that is the mere recognition, to just be aware of our mental formation. The second is to gladden the mind. So this is how to know how to make your mind feel good. So you can use your eyes looking at the trees. I think everyone who come here, the first time you see the field, you see like space, right? You feel something is moving inside of you when you see the big space with the Avalokiteshvara statue standing. So the eyes can glad the mind. Your ear can glad the mind. Your experience can glad the mind. So it is very important from time to time or often to glad your mind. So coming to the retreat, we have a chance of 5 days, 6 days, 7 days, depends on how long is the retreat, to glad your mind. Eat peacefully, walk peacefully, sit silently, and that's all to glad our mind, to nourish our mind with the nourishing element. This is a kind of prevention to strengthen our mental health, the gladden of the mind. And the third is to learn how to concentrate. To learn how to concentrate the mind. Because the mind can operate in 5 modes, according to the Buddhist psychology. So the first mode is, it works with the 5 senses. So it, like I say, you can nourish your mind with your eyes, with your ear, yeah? So when your mind works with your eyes, then you can nourish your mind. Or your eyes look at something that make you afraid, you feel afraid. It affects your mind, your eyes, and other senses too. And the second is independent. Independent from the 5 senses. Your eyes may look at me. Your mind may be in Paris. Or you already fall asleep inside and you see some other images rather than me. Who experienced that? I think we all experience that. I experienced that. Yeah. Meditation in the morning, sit. The task is observe your breathing and relax your body. That is the exercise. Right? But our mind somewhere else. Like recognizing the air in myself. I breathe with. I smile to the air this morning to exercise. Maybe our mind is something else. Yeah. So our ear and our mind does not synchronize sometimes. Yeah. So it's normal. So now you know it's normal. Yeah. So don't be too feel strange like, oh, why I don't feel concentrated. So you know this is just a basic function of the mind. And the third one is it can be concentrated. So this is also the function of the mind. Our mind also can be very focused, especially when you are angry with someone. You don't think anymore about the future. You don't think anymore what you want to do next. The only thing you remember is what that person tell you. And you repeat it again and again and again. And the more you think about it, the more you get angry about it. And you don't think anything else. So the mind can be very, very focused and let go everything else. But this is most of the time with the negative thing. Yeah. So we need to learn also how to glad our mind and focus on this as strong as when we are angry with someone. Actually, there's one that is very nice, which monastic should not. Which is also is in between, indeterminate, good or bad. Fall in love. You can be also very concentrated. You don't think about anything anymore. You even cannot sleep. Yeah? You think about a certain person. But that what we say, fall in love is not good. We can say in love, but not fall in love. Falling means like you kind of having accident in love. Yeah, I think in French you call it what? Coup de foudre. Get lightning. You get lightning, you get some concussion maybe. And the next one, the fourth one is disperse. Should I explain? I think I don't think to explain. Huh? Everyone understand when the mind get dispersed. And the next one is unstably. When we have stress, when we have suffering, when we have trauma that get triggered inside of us, we have a deep depression, the mind can be very independent, don't want to follow you anymore, and they give you like a picture every second. And it can be very random picture. And some people may fall into psychosis. So these are all the basic mode of the mind that we need to understand. That's why be aware of the mind is very important. To gladden the mind is very important. To learn how to concentrate the mind is also very important, because we need to face all of these 5 functions of the mind that sometimes it takes place alternately, different time, different moment. Yeah. And the fourth is to liberate the mind. So our mind, as I share, is when we say liberate the mind, is liberate from something. Yeah, in this case, we want to liberate it from this habit energy the habit that make us feel angry, the habit that make us feel guilty, the habit that make us feel afraid, the habit of don't know what happened without mindfulness, ignorance. We need to be free from the hatred and desire. This is a very subtle desire. It's not like I want this, I want that. No, it's like sometimes we are so craving with pleasant feeling until everything has to be perfectly fine. Because we have that desire, we become like someone who is complain every single moment because nothing is right. Everything needs to be fixed, for example. So that kind of mind, we call it like hatred, ignorance, desire, pride, and doubt. These 5 things we want to free our mind from that. Because these 5 things is to protect ourselves. We need to differentiate good and bad. We need to take side to the good only, but don't take side to the bad. We eliminate the bad. And we say that we are separate from the other, so I need to protect myself. Yeah. And I have to doubt everybody because I should not trust people easily. So that is something that has been caging, imprison our mind for a long time. And with mindfulness, we are starting to liberate our mind. When we breathe in, we start to know that this is my in-breath and my out-breath. I don't breathe ignorantly anymore. Yeah. When I walk, I know that I'm in rushing, so that I can decide not to rush. Yeah. When I have unpleasant feeling, I know to breathe with my unpleasant feeling. I don't say unpleasant feeling is not good, I don't take you. Yeah? But now we change our attitude. We become more free to host our unpleasant feeling. And that is why mindful walking and deep relaxation is very helpful when we have big suffering coming to us. And actually we should practice it before we have a big suffering. It's like if today is very cold and we need to make fire and we start to look for fire, that is very hard because the wood are wet today. And luckily some brothers has kept some dry wood in the storage. Then this morning in the cold weather I can sweat. It's so nice to feel warm. Yeah. So this is the thing. So we need to prepare our mind, to glad our mind first, to learn how to be aware of our mind before a super big thing comes. Yeah. But don't be discouraged. Maybe you have not practiced before and now you have a big problem, and after you listen to me you get more despair. And that is why we need to have collective energy to hold that suffering, because alone is very hard to cultivate such a big mindfulness. So we need the help of many people to contribute that mindfulness, peace and joy and happiness, to imprint our mind too. And that mindfulness energy will help us to liberate all of that ignorance and hatred and suffering. Let us listen to one sound of the bell. I'm aware that I'm 30 minutes. I share this to you and to myself too. While I give this talk, I also learn from myself. Because this is very important, because mind has no shape, but somehow it can decide our well-being, the state of our well-being. So after this, I want to invite you to see also multiple views on the mind. We can see the mind in many ways, yeah? If you feel like this is quite complicated, forget it, okay? Let's come to the new one. Who knows this is much easier? So the first way of looking at our mind is as a gardener. So in order to activate the mind that can catch the habit energy, you need to dig some good seed to go up. So the mind consciousness, with mindfulness, we are able to get in touch with the present moment and plant the good seed. Because when we are in the present moment, we can decide. We have a free will to decide. And the gardener is not a magician. Magician is like, I want a bird, right? I want a ball. That is magician. But gardener is not like that. Gardener is what? You plan what to plant, you plant it, you need to work every day, water the seeds, take care of the seeds, make sure it does not get infected until the day have flowers, you still have to protect it. Until you have a fruit, you need to have to protect it until you harvest on that day. Who is farmer here? Who do gardening here? Yeah, you know it, yeah? It's not like plant and then after that you travel for 2 months and then you come back, oh, now I harvest. You cannot do that, yeah. So a gardener that wants to plant the future, you're also the same. You plant your future, you nourish your future, remember your future, take care of your future, and allow your future to unfold. Don't get caught in the future. Yeah. So we can plant whatever we want in our life, and that is our freedom. We want happiness, we can plant happiness, but we need to take care of that happiness. You want success in your life, you can plant success in your life, but take care of your success. Because if you don't take care of your success will eat you. Yeah? Because we can lose orientation when we chase something. So we allow things to grow by itself naturally so that we don't get frustrated. So we have a free will to plan our future. I think the way you come here is also because of your free will. You have planned this for quite some time. You look for spirituality, maybe you want to have a practice, you want to visit Plum Village or something, somehow you arrive here. Yeah. So you're already a gardener before, and this today is your harvest. You arrive in the practice center and you will be able to join the retreat. And the next, the mind, is we see it as monkey. Have you heard about this? The monkey mind. They like to jump from one branch to the other branch. In Plum Village, we don't call it monkey. Another animal. In Plum Village, we call it frog. A frog. A frog you cannot put the frog on the plate unless you cook it. Don't do that at home. I think in French you do it, huh? In Indonesia, we did it too. It's terrible. So, frog. Frog, it cannot put on the plate because as soon as you put, it will jump out. This is our mind. It's so difficult to contain the mind. Very difficult. But there is a way to contain our mind, which is a training. Yeah, you train yourself to be aware of what is happening in the present moment as much as you can. Not a labor work, but slowly, continuously, regularly, small but regular. Like our teacher say, he signed a contract with the stairs at his home, at his hermitage. So every time he meet that staircase, he has to walk mindfully, for example. So you also can sign a contract with your office, with your apartment elevator. As soon as I enter to the elevator, I will come back to my body and my breath, for example, for how many floors go down or go up. Yeah. So that is a small thing but regular. That is how we learn how to train the awareness, to sharpen our awareness so that the frog can stay. Yeah. In Plum Village, we call it the state of froglessness. So we can learn how to be froglessness, yeah, with the mindful breathing, with the body, with walking, and etc. We can see the mind as a operation system with 5 ways of operation. Yeah. And the last one, we can see the mind as the root. As the root of our action. We have 3 actions. Yesterday we also heard about it. The root is the mind, and then we have the speech and the physical action. And these 3 things is pretty much is the fruit of human beings. So if you see a tree, there are fruits, yeah? And human beings' fruit is the action. And someone's action, you can taste it. Some people's action tastes very sweet. Some people's action tastes very bitter. Whether the way they think, the way they speak, or the way they act, you can taste the flavor. Yeah. So this is something that we want to train to. How to treat the root. And this is a big project to train the root. Because when the root is treated, then you have a beautiful trunk and beautiful branches. Yeah. So if we treat our root, then our speech and our action will be sweet. Yeah. I don't say that we are not good enough. Because we also say, be beautiful, be yourself. We need to start from that point. In order for a tree to grow, that tree has to accept his own or her own or their own growth. When it is small linden tree, the small linden tree is happy as small linden tree. When it grows higher, it's also happy as it is. When it becomes so big, it is also as happy as it is. It does not say that I'm not happy when I'm small. Yeah? So we are the same. We can develop unlimited in the mind, in our body, in our wisdom. We can go very, very deep. So the root of the mind, when we want to train, we need to work together with the speech and with the action, and to know the habit at the root, and to know the habit of our body and the habit of our speech. We need to make a contrast, like the going inside the meditation hall, etc. At that contrast, we call it the 5 mindfulness training. So there are 5 trainings that can help us to know our action. to be mindful of our action. That's why we call mindfulness is also ethics. Because ethics is action, yeah? So in Plum Village we call mindfulness is ethics. So mindfulness is the 5 mindfulness training. It's a mindfulness on our action. Because we want to transform our mind through our body, through our speech, and through our action. And if I continue to speak, you will fall asleep. I think it's good to listen to the other people. I would like to invite everyone to listen to one sound of the bell, and then after that I will invite some of friends to come up to have some conversation. So I would like to invite Brother Rung Fab, Ha, Ali, and Max to come up to accompany me here so that I'm not too lonely. Here is Brother Rung Fab, and then you can sit anywhere you want. Yeah. Ha can sit here if you want. So we have Ali, and we have Brother Rung Fab as a team master. And we have Ha, which we the same jacket, and we have Max. Yeah. This jacket is also representing mindfulness training. This represents the 14 mindfulness training. We will talk about it in another occasion. Today we talk about the 5 mindfulness trainings. And our friend, 3 of them, they have been practicing the 5 mindfulness training. So it's good to hear how we practice it in a different perspective. I think now we can turn off the camera